Lesson from medicine. I did a 4-hour ICU shift yesterday, and it was my first time on call by myself. As you can imagine, it was definitely an experience. But I thought there's a lot of lessons that I learned over a 3-hour period that can be very, very beneficial for you, whether you're in medicine or not. I'll tell you very briefly about what happened. I got the pager, everybody went home. I had 3 or 4 hours by myself, and people started calling me for consults. Now, consult is when another service, emergency medicine, trauma, they call us and they say, "Can you come please see this person?" What I didn't realize is that I wasn't only somebody who's seeing patients, I was also in charge of what beds get taken up. Do we have enough room? Can we move patients up to other floors? Who is serious enough to warrant seeing right away and who can wait? Balancing out the patients that we have who are already crashing versus people who are coming in. Um, Answering the phone, trying to deal with 2 or 3 people at the same time. And I really hadn't done that before at that high of a pace. And I was at the same time trying to learn how to do admissions for patients, how to do orders for them, where all the floors are, what each floor is, who the doctors I was talking to were, um, just logistical things, access, trying to get into emergency, and my key wouldn't work. And so, over a 3-hour period, I noticed that at the beginning I was very, very stressed out. Um, I had actually listened to a talk the day before by Meta World Peace, who was interviewed by Tai Lopez on the internet. I have one of his programs. So I was listening to him talk about presence, and he says in games when he's in a big game, whether he does really well, he shoots a really nice shot, or he's having a bad game, he will notice himself uh, kind of drift away from presence, and he notes that by saying, "My shoulders tense up a little bit." They kind of he notices that his shoulders are a little bit closer to his ears than he'd like to. He's not taking as deep a breath as he wants. His voice is a little bit shallow. And he says he's become so attuned to that now that he will try to just in the game and take deep breaths in and out to try to get himself back into presence and away from the ego or away from fear, whether he's doing well or bad, respectively. And so I noticed myself very, very tense at about 45 minutes into my shift, and I had to really let go, let things happen, embrace the chaos, accept that I'm not going to be in control, and take things one step at a time and just laugh about it. And I noticed myself suddenly getting into flow. Even though I wasn't necessarily as fast or as on top of things as I would have wanted to, at least I was responding to people. I was prioritizing much more naturally. I was communicating with people effectively, and I was delivering the service to patients that I want. And then eventually, when the night person came on and I had to hand over to him, I had a very organized list in my head as to what needs to be done, and they were very impressed. So I say the lesson for everyone is try to slow things down, and if you're one of those people that likes to be in control, which I think is a natural human tendency, you have to accept at some point that you have to let go, and that in itself can allow you to get into a state of flow to actually get things done. Happy Halloween.